bit. You don't have to take with you a weapon or power, but just go to them, proclaim the gospel, what God has done to you, how God saved you. If you keep proclaiming, you will bother them so much, they will be so bothered, and they will kill you. Then we'll be a martyr. That's the way Christians supposed to be spread out. We just took the wrong way. We went with the truth and we killed the people in the past, but still, we need to take our truth and to go to the world, and we should proclaim. But if we proclaim peacefully, but if we're not in silence, they will persecute us. Then you become a saint, you become a martyr. That's how it's supposed to go, right? I want you to be very sure, not compromise this truth, because even I'm surprised this generation, pastors not sure about this. The conference leaders, they're not sure. But wherever you go, I want you to be very sure. And today again, we are sharing about Lord's Prayer. You know, I shared 2 weeks already about the Lord's Prayer. And Lord's Prayer is the summary of what I just shared. It's a summary of what I shared. You know, the first line of the Lord's Prayer, right? Then Jesus said, "Our Father who art in heaven." I already shared this passage with you. But I want you to be very careful for this word, Father, again, because the Lord's Prayer is a summary of all we believe. And the first line of the Lord's Prayer, "Our Father in heaven," is a summary of the Lord's Prayer. You know, all the prayers in the world, in all religions, prayers is between God and human beings. But Lord's Prayer is not between God and human beings. This first line, Jesus teach you, the Lord's Prayer is between Father and children. There's no prayer given ever between father and children. It's all about the religion. People believe God. And when people believe God, when people come to God, think about just ancient world. When people look for God, why did people look for God? I have something that I want. Would you, God, can you do something for what I want? They all bring the wishes and what they want, and they spread before God. That's a religion, right? When I was young again, I was a Buddhist. And in Korea, the Buddhist temple is a deep side of mountain. So Sunday morning, whole family, we visit the Buddhist temple. We were hiking for like 3 hours and 4 hours, and we reached the top of the mountain. There's a beautiful Buddhist temple. And when you go there, Buddhist, the statue, and he was a golden figure, looks great. And we put our offering on his hand, and we bow down, and we pray, "Would you please heal our grandmother who's sick? Would you please, our father's business go well?" We brought all the wishes, and we traveled hours to give our wishes, believing this is God who will grant our wishes. That's the religion. That's all the world, the gods in all the world, right? But do you know what's the definition of idol? Idol is something you come to that thing asking your wishes. That's the idol. There's something that whatever you want, all the things, all your desire, you put on that thing. That's the idol. This is what I want. And I wish you, whether you God or tree or river or moon and sun, please grant my wishes. I brought it before you. If you have anything in your life, that is idol. Which means, if you are here today, right now, come to God and praying in the name of God in Jesus Christ, asking what you want, then you come here for idol worship. Whether you call God's name or whether you look for cross or not, if everything what you brought here is God, Jesus, cross, what I want is this thing, would you please grant these wishes? Then you are here to worship idol, not true God. And all the idols, all the religions, all the religious statues, that's what humans do. Take their wishes and ask the statue, that God, and whatever, you say, "Can you please grant our wishes?" Right? And you have a lot of things. So before Jesus taught the Lord's Prayer, this is what Jesus said. Why he had to preaching this? When you pray, everybody, do not keep on babbling like a pagans. Because people, whoever they are, when they come to God, they keep babbling. Because they have so many wishes. Please, let me be healthy, my disease be sick, my children be healthy, they go to good college, and my grandma is healthy, and my business go well, and then my migraine go away, and so many prayer wishes we just bring before God and spread out with babbling again. I want this, I want even my ministry go well, mission to go well. If we just keep bring up the wishes, you're like a babbling like a pagans, because you only bring the wishes. And again, everybody in the world who believe in God, whatever religion they are, that's the same thing they do. But we must be different. Because Jesus said, everybody, all the pagans who do not believe in God, they are babbling, keep praying for what they want, but do not be like them. Because you're not praying to idol. You're not praying to any God. It's not prayer before God and human. It's not just something that some object which grant your wishes, but you are praying to your Father. And your Father knows what you want already. Your Father always knows what you need. So you don't have to bring all this up. This is only prayer again between Father and children. While all prayers is between God and God's believers. And again, all the world in the gods, they don't have any of their own personality and will. It's just between you about your wish. Oh, if I bring this wish, how can I make this God grant my wishes? Maybe if I give offering. If I bow down million times. Even sometimes, if I become a righteous person, if I live a good life before this God, then this God will be happy, grant wishes to me. If that's a Christianity, we don't have to have a Jesus Christ who died for us. Because without Jesus, without cross, we still bring our wishes. Maybe we try to be righteous. We donate the money to the poor people, and we try to love other people. And if we can be saved by that, then why do we need Jesus who died for us? Right? Our religion is very different. Jesus is saying, you have a Father, so you don't have to bring up everything you need and everything you want. Your Father knows what you need. And your Father exists, and He's not just exists to grant your wishes. He has His own will. Again, no idols has ever got their own will. Their will is only depending on what you want. If I do this God will grant this thing to me. That's only that God's character, right? But our God, whatever you bring before God, God says, whatever you want, whatever you bring, actually I have what I want. Because I exist. God has a personality. That is the first line of the Lord's Prayer. Our Father, first of all, tell Him that He's your Father. You're not praying to God in heaven and earth and soul or hell. No, you are praying to Father. And this Father, what you're supposed to pray is, Father, your name be holy, your kingdom come, your will be done. Very different from all other prayers, of which the content is your wish. You're supposed to ask, not my wish, not what I want to ask what you want. Because there's something what you want which is different from what I want. Do you see difference? That is the Lord's Prayer. Through Lord's Prayer, Jesus created a new family. I died for you as a God, and I made you my brothers and sisters. I washed your sin, and now the God is your Father. And when you come to God, you need to ask what Father wants, who already gave His Son, Jesus Christ, to save you. Lord's Prayer is different from all other prayers. During the last week, I had a very good experience that joining the Korean service in San Jose. There was a pastor who was very famous in Korea. He's like one of the most famous pastor. His name is Boyoung Park. And then, he came to Korea. He came to the San Jose, the special worship. So I went there. The reason he's famous because he was a medical doctor. And he lived a very successful life and very good life. He had all the things he wanted in the world. And about the middle 30, he met God. And he gave away everything he had, all his life saving $3 million. As a medical doctor, he had a $3 million saving. He gave everything to the poor, and he lived from that moment with the poor people. He invited all homeless to his home, and all the kids in the street, all the troublemaker or orphans, whoever he found, he invited home, and he lived with them like a family for 13 years. And he said, a joke is, I like to visit the mountain prayer, a prayer mountain. And we thought, yeah, pastor like to go to prayer. No, he said, no, if I go to prayer mountain, they give lunch. free lunch. So I love to go to Prayer Mountain. He gave $3 million saving and he didn't have a food for himself. So he had to visit the Prayer Mountain often because there was a free lunch there. And he lived like them. And they lived with these poor people who was a failure, who was a loser in the society. And he shared a lot of story, enormous story, like a great, amazing story. He was beaten by the boy he raised because that boy was in trouble. And then he was beaten badly. But he went back again to found him again, loved him. All these stories, how he greatly loved, and many of his families, that his extended family, they become pastors. And he shared a lot of amazing stories through that. I want to share more, but we don't have time today for sharing his story. But he also introduced one person. He's another Korean, he's a Korean missionary. And again, this new person, his name is Mr. Kim, Dr. Kim. He also became a medical doctor, and he was hired at the top rank, the hospital in the Korea, and got a lot of money. When he was about middle 20s, God visited him and asked him, "You have lived so far for yourself. Can you live for me from now on?" And this young doctor, medical doctor, answered yes. And he moved to the Africa. He served the poor people there using all his medical skill. But unfortunately, he got Parkinson, incurable disease, right? So I want to show the video. Can somebody turn up the light? Minnie, can you turn up the light? So in the video is about story, but it's Korean. So I will translate fast what's going on. It's about less than 5 minutes about this doctor's story. Okay? Let's watch together. Next screen, Kenny. Can you turn up the light, all of them? So it's Ethiopia. His name is Dr. Kim Tae-hoon Kim. And he's a surgeon. He decided to go to Africa for mission, and everybody wondered why he decided.
그때 분명한 하나님 음성이 저에게
I heard God's voice very clearly one day. Can you go where I want you to go?
음성이었어요. 그렇게 대답을 했죠.
So I answered like a prayer.
주님이 함께 하신다면
If you are with me, I think I can go any place.
예수님이 저희 마음에
Jesus
확신을
gave a
주셨고
conviction to us.
그리고
to my
저희 남편
husband's
마음에
heart.
확신을 주셨고 그 결정이 너무
And I
기뻤기
was so happy.
때문에
So
어느
wherever
길로
we go,
가든 돌아가는 것 같아도
whatever way it is
거꾸로
a wrong way or
가는 것
reverse
같아도
way,
예수님만 따라가면
we decided if we believe in Jesus
하나님께로
Christ,
가는
that will
그
be the way to
길이니까.
go to God.
예수님이 떠나시고 나서
Jesus
본인이
left,
하셨던 일을
and
할
he
수 있는
wanted
제자들을
his
키우는
disciples to do what he did, so he raised the disciples. So I'm here to raise the doctors. I can heal only one person, but if I raise other doctors, they can heal many people. So here I train the doctors in Africa.
생각을 하고 있고 그렇게 지금도 확신하고 있어요.
One day, I found that my husband is not normal, and I thought it was okay, but his pain got bigger. He had a pain on his feet, so we went to Korea, and they said he got Parkinson. What should I do from now on? I have 3 children. I'm a head of a family. We have a lot of practical concerns. Just to think about those practical concerns was so painful. His body was paralyzed, he was desperate, and he couldn't see the way to go on more. But when he was in the dead end, God showed a new way to him. One morning that I was taking walk, there was rain, a heavy rain, and then there was a tree. So I went under the tree to take a rest, and I thought it was good that there was a tree, and God told me, even if it rains, you don't have to go back home. Even if you have sudden bad things, you don't have to go back to Korea. I will still find a way for you to avoid. I was praying before God, and God showed me the vision.
되게 천진이
I was like a
남는
baby in
표정으로
my vision,
애기같이 정말
and I was in
애기처럼
Jesus' arm.
예수님 품에 이렇게 안겨가지고 예수님이 어디론가
And Jesus was walking somewhere, holding me,
예수님 발에서는
and he was bleeding in his feet.
저는 너무
I was just happy in his
행복하게
arm.
가는 거죠. 그때 다시
And I
알게
knew
됐어요.
at last
아, 성교가
the mission is not what I do.
내가 하는 게 아니었구나 진짜로. 나는 그냥
I'm just in Jesus' arm, being blessed. And it is Jesus who walking that difficult path.
어떨 때는 좀
Sometimes I think it's too bad. My body is not moving at all. It's paralyzed. And even that moment that I have a fear,
두려움이 확 몰려올 때도 있어. 아, 이렇게
my body getting paralyzed more and more.
거구나. 없는 것들.
But the defected thing, weak thing, imperfect thing in the world, God delight to use it
하나님의 능력을
because it can show the God's glory and power more.
저도 이제 하나님의 영광을
So at last,
편한 삶
I can show the God's glory more through my life because I'm not perfect anymore. So I'm God's vessel that God can use easily because my body is not perfect. And this is about the story about one of 900 missionaries in Onuri Korean church. You know, think about the two pastors, the pastor Bob, Pastor Kim. They were medical doctor. They had a lot of money. They lived a successful life. Maybe they could come to God asking, I want to be more successful. I want to be like a head of this hospital. I want my children getting richer and then more intelligent and then they become more successful. Maybe they could pray like this. But they did not pray for their blessing anymore because they met God someday. One day they met God and they found this God has a will for their life. So they went to the opposite way. Instead of bring more wishes before God, they said, what you wish, what you want, what you will, I want to follow that will. And they went to the opposite direction that all the world going to that. Because all the world, they were asking God, they went to the idols, they went to the gods, bring the wishes. God, this is what I want, can you do that? But actually they asked God, what do you want? And if that's your will, and I will willing to follow, even if it's different from my will, or different from my plan, different from the way of a successful blessing. And I believe they live they're happier life than us. We are struggling for so many things every day to get one more, to hold one more, not to lose what we have. So we are struggling. We are keep praying. We don't want to lose our health. We don't want to lose our money. We want God bless our children. That's everything we pray for every day for what we want. But they don't care at all what they want. Just they look for what God wants, look for God's will, and God will bless them. And God has already blessed them, and they in the middle of the suffering, that's what they're finding. Brothers and sisters, Jesus taught us prayer. One unique prayer in the whole world among the millions and millions of prayer, which all between God and human. And humans come to God or idols or some object for their wishes. But this is one prayer Jesus taught us. This is a prayer between father and children. You don't have to bring all your wishes because you are praying not to God, but your Father who knows you, who knows what you need, who knows what's the best thing in your life. And this Father has a will because He is alive, because He is real. And would you start with your prayer? Your will be done. I will live for your will instead of my will. Then all other things, your daily food, your temptations, or other things, will follow when you pray first for His kingdom, for His name, and for His will. Let us pray.